Welcome to my shop. This has been a long time coming. If you guys have been following me on this journey for the last couple years, you'll know that I've been running my business out of my house, out of the basement, the garage, whatever square footage I could find. And I was getting a little kind of bursting at the seams. Finally made sense to get a shop. Finally had the money to afford it and make it work. So just signed a 2-year lease on this 2,800 square foot space. It used to be one big building, and they broke it up into 3 sections last year. I'm the first tenant in this space since it's been newly remodeled. It's been such a huge blessing. It's funny, I was looking for places, and all the places I saw were either 3,000 or 4,000. They were small and dark and dingy and ugly, and this was the nicest looking, the cheapest, and it was only 2 miles from my house, so it worked out perfectly. So I'd like to give you guys just a tour of this space. I'm really excited to look back on this video myself in the future just to see how much things have changed. A quick note, just kind of a personal note that I think is just kind of helpful to share. Working at home is great until it isn't. One thing that got a little bit interesting is this year we had four employees working in here. They started at my house. I had 2 full-time employees working in my house. They would one would be in the garage, one would be in the basement. And then it just got kind of a little weird. They're both great guys, but when you hire someone at the beginning, you don't really know that, and it's kind of weird having people come into your house, and so that kind of felt weird. And then 2, I have a wife and then 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And love them dearly, but when you're trying to take customer calls and kids are crying and screaming in the background, it gets challenging. And so I didn't feel like I could be really good at anything. I felt like I was, 50% boss and employee or whatever I am, and then only 50% kind of husband and father. So now it's nice to actually physically go to work and be, 100% at work and go home and be 100%. With family, so it's been really nice for me to divide those things and separate them, as maybe they should be. All right, let's give a little tour of this space. I will say a quick note. So our business goes from April to August. June was our busiest month this year. Guess what month we moved in to this space? June. Fans and friends and family were like, "Are you sure you want to move in during summer?" I'm like, "It'll be fine." It wasn't fun. The 2 weeks were I worked a lot of hours those weeks. I remember tuning the CNC at Sunday at 1 a.m. in the morning to get ready for that Monday, and it was a little crazy, but we had to do it, and I'm glad we did. So that to say, when we moved in, I didn't really have a plan for anything. It's just, let's just move as quick as possible and just throw stuff, literally. Just get it running. I have, since our summer season has kind of died down, and I've already started moving stuff around, getting it ready for kind of retooling for the next year. So it's starting to look a little bit better, but it's still a little kind of crazy. So a lot of it's just makeshift. But so in here, another quick note is not any discouragements, but when you move into your own place, there's a lot of different expenses that maybe you didn't think about. I definitely need a forklift. So nice to have one, but you move in, it's like, oh, forklift, and oh, maybe I need to buy a fridge and a microwave for employees and all the things like that. And so it definitely wasn't an issue, but you think like a lot of things you don't think of is like, oh, there's a lot of expenses that I have to buy that I didn't think I would have had to coming from my house. So I just have a simple little makeshift workstation. I just took it from my office at home and then just dropped it here. It's 3D printer rolls for monitor stands. It's super basic. I just dump stuff on that table. Basically, this is just me mostly doing CAD and emails on the computer, and then material storage. All the acrylic. We got acrylics on the skid. They usually come in about 55 sheets in a skid, and I'll usually stack all my material here in whatever haphazard way makes sense at the moment. This is still going to be material storage in the future. My plan is to have this area be storage. I'm going to get some of those green and orange commercial shelving units that you see at Costco. I'd like to get one right here. I can just come in off the off the trailer, and then just fork it right into the shelves to store all our acrylic. And then I'd like to get two, one here and then another one here to store all our cardboard and whatever else we need. I think and probably another full-length one here to store all our supplies and parts and accessories. So that should be in the shop tour 2025, I guess. Here's another kind of just dump of cardboard, but yeah, material just gets dumped right here. That's kind of how it's been. I guess it makes sense to start on this side because I'll kind of show you the progressive flow of the shop. So yeah, material would come in. When we're low, we'll load a full skid of plexiglass on here. When this is out, we'll get a new skid, drop it on here, moving this out of the way, obviously. And then you can see I got one skid underneath here that I'll eventually tap into. But yeah, we'll get their material in. That's all scrap pile. When we have the scrap material, we just cut it in half, throw it here, and then forklift that into our commercial-sized dumpster at the end of the building. So yeah, we just grab a sheet. This is really handy to grab panels with. Grab a sheet of plexiglass, throw it on the CNC, clamp it down, cut it. I've already started changing the workflow. This looked very different like 2 weeks ago. So for how this summer, how it worked is we had this really long 4-foot by 12-foot long table. And that was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not assembly, but kind of like a roller table or whatever. But anyways, basic table, we'd grab a panel, kind of prep the panel, put it on here, and then just kind of feed it. Conveyor is kind of what I was thinking of. We'd feed it to the packagers, and then they would grab the panel, package it up. Essentially what we'd do is we'd be handling the material twice, because this cart was back over here, and we'd just take panels off, store it in this cart kind of as a temporary holding pattern or space, and then once we needed to actually prep panels, we'd grab it again, put whatever vent or accessory needed to go on there, clean it off, and then put it on the table, and then push it down towards the packagers. We're kind of touching material twice, so the new workflow is going to be grabbing the panel, blowing it off, put the vent here, and then just putting it right in the cart, and then all the packagers can grab it right from the cart. I have some more official U-boat platform carts that are here. I just got these from U-Line, dropped off yesterday instead of my very beautiful, elegant one. We threw that together in like 30 minutes or something, because when you're busy, who cares about looks? It just needs to work. But yeah, prep panels, throw them in here, packagers can grab them. So that's that, and then the workflow from there would come out to here. There was 3 packaging stations, so I had one full-time guy named Dan. He ran the CNC, prepped all the panels. That guy was a rock star. He worked 60 hours a week, just crushing it, knocking things out. Then I had one packaging station here, one here, and then I had another one over here. And so I had 3 packagers over here. This guy over here, Ross, he worked full-time, Autumn part-time, and then my other guy, Wilson, part-time packaging. I think altogether they worked about 132 hours a week. So I went from basically no employees to 4 employees. It was a crazy summer, and getting to try for the first hand what it's like to manage people. It was kind of a new experience. Up until this point, it's been primarily family members helping out with the business. Still have family members, but plus outside help as well too. So yeah, typically what the packagers would do we'd start everything with a full 4x8 sheet of cardboard. Throw it on your table, grab the panel, put it down, get everything ready, and then just start cutting up the box, folding it. And then after you fold up the box, put it on our kind of weigh station to print the label. Hit that, drop it, get the weight, and then I have some rulers here. You can kind of get the size quick, enter those dimensions, slap a label on it, and then put it in a cart, which that cart is wheeled over there. Another very unofficial cart. It was this guy's table. I literally just flipped it upside down, put some wheels on it, and made a cart just to kind of test a new workflow, and it works really great. They can just drop all the packages here and then wheel it over there. I did that like 2 weeks ago. This whole summer, they boxed all the packages, walked over there, and printed the label over there, and then just leaned it up against the wall, and then UPS would come and grab them off the wall. The cart system works so much better to save so many steps. Fun little fact. This is our daily records. July 18th, we did 104 panels in one 8-hour day. So it's kind of fun to keep track of them. Last year, I think the most I did in a single day was like 30, and I thought that was nuts. So we were insanely busy. This was another kind of just makeshift weigh station, label printing station that literally we just threw. You can see it's just literally taped. So get her done. So that's that packaging station. Let me start talking about some of the new things that are going to be changing and being brought in here. I just ordered some custom boxes that 30% of our orders are going to be able to fit into this new custom box. So I'm going to need a new place to store that. I'm thinking about getting another Costco shelving unit, possibly here, and just load some boxes right here. That way they can just grab a sheet, fold it up. Having a custom box will help speed things up so much, keep costs down, and just decrease our delivery time too. So I did buy a new CNC machine. We can look at this guy again. This guy has been absolutely fantastic. ZenBot CNC. I got it for like $6,000 because I got every bell and whistle. I think you can get it for like $5,000 or something like that. But it's a hobby CNC. It's not meant for commercial use. This thing cut over 800 quarter-inch plexiglass sheets. And the whole time I was like, dude, just saying a prayer, just keep it together. And this thing held up like a champ. Still, it still just cuts dead nuts every time. I'm amazed by it. But I'm not going to build $1 million business on a $6,000 machine. So I did buy a Shop Saber CNC router table. That is the Pro Series 510 that I just ordered. That will be taking this place. I'm actually going to move this one. This will be a backup. I'll move that over by all those pallets that you see. And then the new one is massive. It's probably going to be sitting about right here. Same workflow. Having the acrylic, drop it here. So that beast will be here. I got to get wiring, working with an electrical contractor to get all the wiring from that thing. That thing needs about 180 amps just all together. I've already started getting accessories for that being delivered. Here's the air compressor for that new Shop Saber CNC. In this big crate is the vacuum table, or the vacuum pump for the vacuum table. The vacuum pump alone is $17,000, so it better work. It looks like it works like a champ, which is a big selling point why I got that. So I'm already starting to get that coming in. I should have that new CNC probably within the next 30 days. Hopefully get that hooked up pretty soon. So we're going to be looking a little more official with more legit equipment. Get some nice official shelving and equipment in here. Because I'm no longer a hobby business anymore. I've been a hobby business for the last several years, since 2019. It's been great. I've always had aspirations for more, and finally the business has grown to a point where I can't really rely on the same kind of thinking patterns and the way of going about things, and now got to start kind of upping it and building an official business. And just like a CNC too, it's like you have employees now. Do I want to have everyone's financial well-being dependent on a cheaper machine? And My mom, this is kind of random, but my mom said a really great quote about when I got this place and moved into it. I was working in between either my garage or my basement or this bonus room, which is my office. And she's like, I think she said, when you're in small spaces, you have small thoughts. And when you're in big spaces, you have big thoughts. And I thought that was so good because I had so many aspirations I wanted to do more, but it's like, I'd love to do this, but I can't because I'm in a small garage or in a small basement. And I'd love to do this, but oh wait, I can't. And now that you have so much more space, it's like, oh, I could get a forklift and we could do this and we could do that. And so it really enables you to expand and pursue things that you thought that were previously kind of closed doors. So I'm excited to just expand and grow and have doors open that previously couldn't have been opened. That being said, I might only, even though I moved in here, I'm like, oh, this is the end all be all. I might only be here for a couple more years. We'll see. As long as if the business continues to grow, we might have to find a bigger space eventually. I'll show you the space back here. So one thing that was a challenge is we had our phone number on the website. I wanted to be available for our customers to chat over the phone, which is really good. The phone was ringing off the hook all throughout the summer. And every time I got a phone call, I had to get up and walk to the front because it's noisy in here. Either the CNC is going, the vacuum, something, it's noisy. And so that was just kind of annoying. So here I'm building an office that's going to be a little bit more soundproof, and that way I can take calls, talk to customers, do Zooms, whatever, without having to, go outside into the front parking lot or whatnot. My CNC guy, Dan, we had all these pallets, tons of pallets just sitting around. He's like, you should build an office with that. And I don't like pallets. I think they're gross and dirty and ugly. And I was like, nah. And then after thinking about it a while, I'm like, that's actually a good idea. I could probably build that pretty quick and shapely with pallets. So that's going to be my office. I just bought a door from Home Depot over there just yesterday. And so that'll be nice to have that all done. We got bathroom back there, fridge. Usually keep the fridge filled with body armors and some ice cream and treats and stuff like that. It's a summer business, so it gets hot. That's basically about it. I don't really do much with my own 3D printer these days, except for a little bit of prototyping. I outsource all that now. I'm really excited to, come back to this video and watch it like a year or two from now. I'm excited to just totally revamp this whole place, and really encourage you to look at that next video when I come out with that. But it's so fun to kind of just track the stages of a business and see what it looked like, in this revision and this year, and all these times where I've been at my house and what it looks like, and now we're finally in a bigger space. And I kind of just threw things, and now I get to organize and set things up a little bit better, and it'll be so much better next time. So this is kind of the makeshift. Check this out, it's funny. It just shows you how quickly we just threw things together. Holding up my hose. So in my garage, I'm just gonna come up here. In the garage that this machine was in, I had, joists or rafters, and I could just attach this to. And I'm like, what the heck am I gonna attach it to? There's like nothing to attach it to. And so I got a bungee cord, and I was literally just throwing this on that beam and finally got it to catch. And then that was pulling too hard, and so I'm like, maybe I'll pull it hard there. And so this is extension cord. I just took an extension cord and threw it over there. And so get her done. I had a backup CNC. That one's taped from whatever line that is, but I didn't have time to make it pretty. As we were moving everything, we were doing 200 orders a week, which was a crazy amount of orders for us. And we had to keep that up every week while moving, and not lose production and get everything set up. And so we just kind of threw things, and it worked. It worked actually really great. We kept up with production. I think in June, the most we did, 375 orders in a single week. And we still kept like an average 2-day lead time, which is pretty cool. So excited to grow and improve and build this out and get ready for next year. So thanks for sticking around and watching this video and following me on this journey, and excited to grow. And I'll show you another video when we totally revamp this for next year.